Why can't they just leave things alone? You create a marvelous TV series and we're all fans of it, and then they go and do this.
You've been warned.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hello and welcome to another episode of It Could Have Been a Classic. And this week we're going to be covering CI5, The New Professional, written by Brian Clemens, first broadcast on Sky 1 on the 19th of September. Billed as an updated version of the 1970s terrestrial classic series, The Professionals, the series set in a fictional government agency known as CI5 Criminal Intelligence Department 5. The original group of three men, Bodie, Doyle, and Cowley, are replaced by a team consisting of Harry Malone, Edward Woodward, Chris Keel, Kal Weber, Sam Curtis as Colin Wells, and Tina Backus and Lexa Doig. In a similar manner to The Professionals, the series included a number of high-budget, impressive action sequences, often filmed in a James Bond-esque style. It ran for 13 episodes and got cancelled. And you're going to understand why it got cancelled. ITV would broadcast the series, but after attempting to secure a cheaper deal for broadcast rights, David Wickes told the Daily Mail that he would sooner lock it away in a vault than hand it over to ITV for next to nothing. Sky chose to invest in the series after considerable editing, which removed a number of sequences deemed excessively violent and disturbing. Are you fucking kidding me? Sky provided the show with considerable pre-publicity, but viewer response to the show was extremely poor, with the low production values and perceived low-quality acting being widely mocked amongst those who watched it. Yeah. Well, I've had to sit through this. I've sat through quite a few episodes. And it's, I'm going to say it's terrible. It's right. One of the positive things, you've got Edward Woodward, the equalizer. He's Harry Malone. He's like the no bullshit head of CI5 Cowley's replacement. So, and there is a connection because there's a couple of episodes that do pay tribute to the original. In the first episode after the solve of crime, Harry Malone walks into the office and salutes a glass of whiskey to George Cowley, which I think is a beautiful touch to the original series. Now, CI5, they're an international global organization now. They seem to have clearance in a lot of countries and they can do, whatever they want. And so you get in from Crossroads, the new one. What's he called? The characters in this series, I don't even know the names of these characters, but there was one actor who was in the new Crossroads. I checked his career out. And well, I don't think he really went anywhere. And they've got the American dude. They've obviously put him in for the American audience. So what are they both called? They're called Keel and Weber or something. So anyway. Harry Malone, the no bullshit boss. Lexa Doig, she plays Tina Backus, I think. Is it Tina Backus? Yeah, Tina Backus. And she's like a backup. Keel and there's Keel and Wells. Weber and Wells. Are you fucking kidding me? Sam Weber and Wells. Is that? Oh no. So you've got them. They're driving around in flash cars. It's like an upgraded 90s Miami Vice added with this like cheesiness to it. It's not convincing at all. This. So I mean, the story's a lot of car explosions, a lot of running about, and emotional situation. But the two dudes that play like the Bodie and Doyle, there's just no well, you don't feel that chemistry of them both. They're running about. She comes in and helps out, and she goes undercover, and they all care about her. And then the villains and some of the stories. Oh my God, some of the stories. There's one with a laser beam. There's a guy who used to work for Star Wars program. He wants $500 million to kill people with his space laser, and they all think it's a UFO. And the guy is pretty pissed about stuff and his laser weapon. He decides like not to kill people because these like evil people are going to say, look, if we're going to pay you $500 million for this like laser weapon, you know, up in space, which NATO forgot about. And this is why they won the Cold War, the Americans and NATO and all this, because they created the first laser weapon. It can destroy cities and aircraft carriers, but they've just left it in space for 30, 40 years. Oh, do you know what I mean? And this he's got it reoperated and starts taking stuff out, and everybody thinks it's a UFO in outer space, and CI5 investigate. But he has a bit of a conscience because these baddies want to blow up the Eiffel Tower.
In orbit, an attack from space.
My God, it's coming straight at me!
I heard all that they found was this shoe.
So as I'm watching this, the stories got ridiculous. I mean, they did. So we had the laser beam from outer space. All it did was destroy a caravan. That were it, and they're running about doing what they're doing, and it's just there's just no chemistry. Apparently, both the actors got on really well, and David Wickes, one of the creators of this, he and Brian Clemens, they wanted to, you know, do something with it, but it just didn't work. Now they might have got on, but like in the original series, there was tension between, you know, the two actors, which made it work wonderfully. And you know, now Edward Woodward is in this, and I'm not going to knock him. He's an amazing actor. And as you know, I'm a fanatic of the Equalizer series. Don't get me started on the other ones. I did like the movies, but I'm not watching the series. The Equalizer is Edward Woodward. That's it. And I'm not going into anything else. I know things evolve and they change stuff. So let's leave it at that. So, like, the story's got ridiculous. Now, they took a new Avengers story from Brian Clemens. You know, like the new Avengers. They tried to clone Hitler. There's an episode where they've got these Nazis and they're going to reclone fucking Hitler. Can you believe it?
In Souvenir, the cloning of evil.
What are we into here? We've got a dead double agent, a tortured spy, cloned animals, and Henry Kensel, who's got more money than God.
So after like the cloning, the Hitler debacle, the stories just get like bigger in scope. Like certain capital cities are being held hostage by like virus weapons, there's computer hacking, all kinds of these insane criminal schemes. A plot to assassinate the president by the mob, you know, because they're going to join together and create a world's intelligence agents. They're all going to start working together. And CI5's at the center of this, which it sort of gets interesting, but everywhere it's like it's just not working in this series. I don't know how it just seems. I don't know. I mean, even if the story is any good, in this series. It's just somehow it's not working. Like I said, it's not Edward Woodward. If I got a George Cowley in to replace the original, I would definitely be Edward Woodward. I like the Harry Malone character. Now, Lexa Doig, she's a babe. But she's just running around pressing buttons and looking amazing. That's it. And she's good with a gun. She turns up, she's like their backup. Yeah, that's it. And it's them two like behind. All they do is run about all the time. That's all they do is run about and exploding cars.
First strike, holding America to ransom.
General, $10 million buys a hell of a lot of plutonium in Russia these days.
Small price to pay to save a country from itself, Captain.
So you're going to ask now, is this series a classic? Now, it's like there ain't anything special to it. Like I said, you're not going to sit here and get into the relationships and find interesting things out about the characters. Yeah, all right, they've got a past. One of them has a past in an episode with, he used to be in MI5. The other dude used to be in the Navy. They've all got like past, but we don't like with Bodie and Doyle. You got an inside episode in the original series about Bodie's past in Africa when he was a mercenary and he was in the SAS and he meets one of his old teammates and he's, you know, all that. You got sort of depth with the character. In this, you just don't get it. So I'm just going to, the development of this series, right? David Wickes, an episode director for the original series, approached series creator Brian Clemens in the early 1990s after realizing how popular the original series was through repeats of video sales, having since formed his own production company. Now, they did ask Lewis Collins to come in, but he pulled out, and Martin Shaw wasn't interested because he was a bit funny about it, wasn't he? The Professionals later in his career, because he's like a theatre actor. So he did, and hang on. Since some of the co-founding shows derived from his association with American TV networks, he did, however, approach Lewis Collins to reprise his role as Bodie of the control of CI5. Now, that might have worked, you know, if Lewis Collins would have come in. I remember seeing an interview with him, said that he'd been approached. He had based himself almost exclusively in America, did Lewis Collins, since the 1990s. Collins declined the role, and so instead Edward Woodward came in, which I don't have a problem with. I don't think it's, I think the two leads, the two sort of like, it just don't work with them. They're flat as anything, you know, whereas the original two. Actor Colin Wells and Kal Weber became Sam Curtis and Chris Keel, respectively. Wells' Lexa Doig was cast Tina Backus through the main trio, along with Harry Malone, carried the show several other secondary roles, such as Corrigan Mills and Richard Spencer were cast in Shaw. Clemens' original deal was adhered to. Now, I get it with CI5 about the evolution of the organisation, that it'd be more European, it'd be more international, and that their reach would probably spread further, you know, which does sort of make this rather interesting. I think there is a concept that can be played with, you know, but it's got to be done right, and this, it just don't work.
It's not here! Back it up! I don't want an excuse, Mr. Keel. I want a solution.
I mean, let's take a look at Bodie and Doyle themselves and compare them to Keel and Weber, you know, and you'll see where I'm coming from about the intensity of their relationship in this series. You know, you will see it and how superior the original series is to this.
Two dead, neither of them us. We did okay.
Okay. You call that okay? Look, a bust in like that, you're supposed to shoot from the door.
Yeah, I suppose I...
Well, then the next time, you can be the monkey on the string and I'll be the backup.
And if I had fired from the door and missed, who was standing in the window?
Since when did you miss?
You're supposed to throw those things when we're on the same flank, not in a bloody pincer.
There were two of them coming right at you.
With you coming right behind them, what if I'd missed? Ever heard of death by friendly fire?
So, like, I just compared both of them together, and obviously the superior one is the original. Now, what's interesting about this show, despite the problems caused by the show initially being shown on satellite on a satellite channel. A few viewers in the United Kingdom that had access to it. Now, I knew this series existed, but I didn't see this till many years later. The series was sold to over 50 countries worldwide and was hugely popular in Europe. The first series would be popular in Europe. Well, fair enough, I suppose. And there probably is a fan base for this. I mean, I fuck knows where, but there must be. The first series known broadcast was in Sweden on Canal 5, where broadcast commenced on 3rd of September 1998. The series was shown 3 times consecutively due to its popularity in Denmark, Ireland, and Hong Kong. And the Philippines also broadcast the series more than a year before the series finally reached British audiences. Now, mate, it's such a shame because it should have been shown here. And ITV should have done it. And there were a lot, they needed to do a lot to this. I mean, I'd took it back to the fucking drawing board and restarted it. I'd have kept, like I said, I'd have kept definitely, you know, the Equalizer. I mean, having Edward Woodward in it definitely would have, as the new commander. Now, there's one episode where one of the villains got killed by Cowley, shot him 20-odd years ago or something, and it's mentioned about one of George Cowley's where he was on a mission, he killed one of the villains, and that was, I suppose, that was the connection to the original series. And I have said that there is some nice little tributes in this. For several years, the series remained unrepeated. However, in November 2011, GBC TV in Gibraltar began airing the series on Sundays from 6th of November. Men and Movies then began. Oh God, do you remember Men and Movies? Do you remember Men and Movies? That TV channel was worth a review just on its own. Then broadcasted the series weekday at 6 p.m. from 19 March 2012. Although the episodes had even more judicious edit. I mean, they kept cutting stuff out because it was so violent. I didn't think it was. Out on the top of the material already removed. Sky, over a decade before Movies for Men later began broadcasting the series, like the original broadcast, the episodes were heavily edited to remove any strong violence and bloodshed. So why fucking bother making it? Do you know what I mean? The episodes were shown weekdays 8 p.m. in 2020. Newly launched streaming service Roku channel. I've got a Roku. Made the series available for free. No fucking wonder. In March 2012, it was revealed that work was underway on 2 exclusively recorded audio commentaries with Brian Clemens and producer David Wickes, suggesting that a potential DVD release was forthcoming. Madman Entertainment were the first to release the series on DVD exclusively for fucking Region 4, please. So that's it, really. You know, well, there was another release in 2016. Network acquired the rights for a Region 2 release, which include several bonus features, trailers, promotional films, a clip from London Tonight, and electronic press. Oh, bollocks. Right, so we're going to... Is this a classic? Oh, fuck off. It's not. Down the fucking toilet you're going. You know, I'm sorry, CI5, you're unprofessional and you're going down the toilet of eternity.
But it was rumored that years ago Phoenix used this address as a safe house. I said it was small.
Size isn't everything, Chris.